Greetings everybody and welcome back to Bloodmoon, or should I say Solstheim. Last time we started doing some work for the captain, and while we were busting up a smuggling operation, the fort got attacked by what people are saying is a bunch of werewolves, and the captain has been taken. What? First I think we should escort these miners to the site for the other guy. Not Carius, but
something you need.
Cassius Magius or something like that. I don't know. They have very similar names. Alright, Gadar Varothan. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Alright then. We all voted and decided that you get to take the lead. None of us are particularly fond of the woods. I'm not saying we're cowards, mind you, and we felt that you'd be better off leading the way. Well, of course, I would have said the same thing. And let me mark the spot on your map so you know which way to head. Lead on. Alright. Where exactly are we going? Raven Rock? Oh yes, they did mention Raven Rock when I first arrived. Skaal Village is up there. That's where I'm going to need to go to investigate the attack. See if I can find out what happened to the captain. But first, you know, we'll set things into motion here with the East Empire business. Just clear the way from wolves and whatnot. Come on, fellas, don't get lost. Stick together. Oh, hello. There's a fellow already here. Oh, you must be... Ah, yes, Falco Galenus. Well, we've made it here in one piece. Thanks for the escort. Perhaps we'll run into each other again. Sure. Alright, they're at the site. I'll talk to Falco.
So, Carius talked you into joining this little venture, did he?
Yes, he did, but he didn't mention what it was about. Very low on details, that guy, I suppose. Very well, I'll be managing the site from here, and answering only to Carius. Since you're here, I have an assignment for you. Ah, sure, what is it? Carius sent you to me for more instructions, yes? Well, you can finish the task I was working on before you got here. Now that some of the workers have arrived, I need to stay here and supervise. Here, take this ebony ore and find 4 more pieces like it. Carius needs some proof of our investors, that this venture is worth it and the ore should do nicely. Okay, where could I find more of this stuff? It's around here, right? Well, it shouldn't be too hard to find more. There's quite an abundance of ebony ore in the area, which is why we chose this site. But Carius is in such a hurry to get started that he's come right out and said he doesn't care where the ore comes from, as long as he has enough to show the investors. I'm surprised he didn't just bring some over from Vardenfell when he arrived. I certainly wouldn't put it past him. Well, that's a bit low of him, but if you're certain that there's some more around here, I don't see why I can't just look around. Oh, so what's going on? What is this place, Raven Rock, anyway? It has the potential to be something great, Wake, both for the Empire and for us. Let's try and see that it lives up to its potential. Okay. Latest rumors? Ever been to Brodier Grove? Those stones used to be men, before some nasty wizard got to them. Oh, that's what the legend says, anyway. Little advice. At night when the snow starts falling, it's hard to see more than a few feet in front of you. Either use a good light source or get indoors until morning. Okay. I've been hearing talks about reavers. We're safe from reavers. They avoid large settlements. Okay. What about Skaal? They don't bother us, we don't bother them, sort of thing. I see. Oh, some ebony here. See, he gave you one already, yes. Yep, got 1, 2, 3. There we go. That should be enough. Yes. I need to find 4 more pieces. Should I give it to him, or do I take it to what's the guy's name? Carius. 4 more. Take it back to Carius, please. Alright. Easy enough. We'll just divine intervention back over there.
Well, it could.
Hello, Carius.
With feeling.
I've got some stuff for you. Ah, so you have the order I asked Falco for. You couldn't even accomplish that by himself, could you? No matter. The investors are waiting for this, so hand it over. Here's payment for the job. I don't have any other work for you right now, so come back and see you in about 3 days. By then, construction should be well underway, and there will likely be more for you to do. Oh, and take the stock certificate. What is this? It's a way to offset the cost of establishing and developing the colony. Each employee is issued a certificate that has a value based on how well the colony is performing. If you decide you'd like to exchange it for money, it can be arranged. See me if you're interested in doing so. Okay. Only 100 gold. Is simple delivery mission, though. Easy enough. So I'll come back in a few days to check on the progress of Raven Rock. I have plenty to occupy me in this time. Certainly. Excuse me. Okay, so I guess we're gonna head north. Man, I wonder if this guy saw anything about the attack. You there, Nord? Have you seen Carius Magius? No, wait, it's Captain. The Captain, what? The other guy, Cassius. Freaking, why do they have the names be so similar? It's pretty, rather, well, confusing. I don't think this guy has anything else to say.
Be careful.
Alright then. Let's see. Skaal Village, huh? Let's see. I'm guessing this is Lake Fjalding. There seems to be streams running through Solstheim. That's the only lake. Let's see what my journal says about this. Captain Carius has been abducted. Artoria suggests I seek out the Nords who live on the northern coast of Solstheim. So I guess we're gonna have to make a trip to Skaal. Let's check the day. 17th of Sun's Dusk. So Carius would be expecting me on the 20th. And it is morning time, so no better time to head out than now. What are you doing? Last thing we need is naked Nords roaming about. I guess I could follow the river north. What is that? A wild boar. Tusked bristleback. Bristleback leather. Recall, resist frost, blind. Strange ingredients. To be sure. What is that in the water? Uh-oh. You guys don't want to mess with me. I promise you. Alright, Nords. Time to get heated up. Oh, shit. Holy fuck. Where the hell did the snow come from? I can't see a bloody thing. Arr. Ah. What, a horker? Oh boy. This is not what I need right now. Oh, we'll follow the water. I thought it was supposed to be frozen over this lake, so why is this water not frozen? Oh, I see some ice flows. Getting closer to the lake. Oh yeah, there it is. It is indeed frozen over, but not entirely. This ice doesn't look very strong to walk across. I have water walking though. Is this Lake Fjalding? Let's see, Thirsk should be east of the lake, what I remember. Let me check. East of Lake Fjalding, yep. Okay. Let's see if we can find Thirsk Village, and then we'll talk to them. And then we can head to Skaal and see what they say there. Oh, I found a shack, and the snow seems to be letting up a bit. He said it was a meat hall or something. Yep. Let's head on inside. Well.
Oh, welcome to Thirsk, friend. You should speak to Skolder Wolfrunner. He's the chieftain of this hall and wishes to meet all new arrivals.
Okay, I'll do just that. Who are you? Hail, stranger. I am Ulfrun, and I welcome you to the meat hall of Thirsk. So long as you behave yourself, we'll get along just fine. If you want to buy some meat, just ask. If you haven't already, I suggest you introduce yourself to Skolder Wolfrunner. He's the chieftain. Oh, you have meat to sell. I see. Oh, who is this guy? Oh, he seems drunk. Just leave him alone.
Keep your distance, friend, if you want to keep your head.
What do you want, Twig? These guys know nothing of my deeds up here. Oh, you're the leader? Hail, good wake. Skaal Wolfrunner is my name. I'm the chieftain of Thirsk, and welcome you to our home. You'll not find a better meat hall anywhere, not even in Skyrim. For 100 years, Thirsk has withstood all manner of attack, from the snow and hail to those infernal Reiklings. But the meat hall still stands, and its hospitality is unmatched. Please stay and relax. Enjoy our fine drink and seek shelter from the cold. Here, my friend, taste the nectar of shore. Oh, thanks. Cheers. You know, I don't want to be rude. I'm looking for Captain Carius. You haven't heard or seen anything about the whereabouts of the general of the fort, Frostmoth, have you? Isn't he the one in charge at the fort? He's with the Imperial Legion like the rest of them. Oh. I take it you don't take kindly to the Imperials, eh? Well, what are Reiklings exactly? Vicious little things. If you see one, you're in for a fight. You see one riding a tusk or bristleback, you're in for a real fight. Type of boar native to Solstheim. Lots of them around, sometimes hunted for meat. Okay. That's interesting. I heard some talk about werewolves. People who actually turn into wolves? Well, they sound worse than the berserkers. Berserkers? Sounds like a bunch of savages to me. Raven Rock. Black coloring caused by the ebony ore. I guess the East Empire Company is trying to set up another mining operation. Sure. Skull of Gris the Yellow. What the hell?
Watch yourself near Eric, friend. He's a swine of a man.
Oh yeah?
Too bad he's my clan brother.
Steer clear of Eric the Unworthy? Why's that? He's a disgusting brute of a Nord. I've met frostboars more charming than that oaf. He may be my clan brother, but there are days I wish someone would just come in here and teach that oaf some manners. You get what I'm saying, Outlander? Yeah, I guess. Let's see if they know anything about here. What about Marisa? You never heard of this lady? Eric knows where she is. That's all I can tell you. As much as I hate the lumbering oaf. Great. We'll talk to this guy. Well, let's see what this person has to say.
Head on.
Full figure of the fair. You are a fair lass, but drunk. It seems. Not surprising.
Keep your distance, friend, if you want to keep your head.
I'm searching for a captain. No, I mean... Marisa. Yeah, oh, I'm sure you do know something. Let's see now. Ha, you want to know a secret? I have the little tramp locked upstairs in my room. That's right, she came here preaching about how mead is evil. Made me fight furious, it did. Right furious. Okay. So I took her, I smack her around every now and then and throw meat on her. That sort of thing. Wow. Well, that's not kind. You don't want to incur the wrath of the Imperials, I'm sure. Well, it's the only locked door, so... Marisa?
This better be important.
Please, stranger, help me. I'm being held prisoner by that disgusting Nord Eric. I came to the meat hall to preach the way of the Nine Divides. This is how I was repaid. Well, maybe you'll learn your lesson. Let's get out of here. I came to Thirsk to preach the word of the cult and to sway the barbarians from their love of drink. That foul Eric poured mead on me. Then he struck me. I awoke in his chambers. That was over 3 weeks ago by my reckoning. Every day he comes in to taunt me and beat me. The only food and drink I've been given is rotting meat and mead. Please, stranger, you must release me so that we may travel together back to the cult shrine. Yeah, come on. Oh, well. We might incur some hostility on the way out. She just seems pretty quick, though. Come on. Maybe where you're from, it's alright to enter someone's chambers and play with their things, but it's not alright around here. The missionary is mine, understand? I knew you were trouble when I first laid eyes on you. Now I'm gonna have to teach you some manners. No, I don't think so.
Hey, wait for
I will
me.
bathe in your blood.
Ah. Fucking dick. Asshole.
Hey, good looking.
I killed the Bernard Barbarian. Nobody wanted to help him out, though. What you got on ya? He's got a key. And that's about it. Alright.
Hey, wait for me.
Oh, hurry up. Come over here. Come on. What are you doing? Come on.
May the wind be
Oh, for
on
fuck's
your
sake.
back.
Come on. Ready? Let's go. Why don't you have a divine intervention spell, dummy? What kind of cultist are you? Alright, I guess we're gonna head back down south and drop this cultist off. Come on.
How can I show my appreciation?
I don't know, cough up some gold.
Thank you.
By the 9 divines, you rescued my Marisa. Please take this gold. I know it's not much, but it's all we have in our coffers. Wish I could give more. Marisa is invaluable to me and the cult. Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, friend, what brings you here?
Alright, Marisa. What kind of spells you got? Holy Word, Hearth Heal, Heal Companion, Cure Disease, Frost Shield, whatever. To barter? Only a few crappy potions, it seems. Alright. Time to head back across the whole freaking island so we can go to Skaal Village. Alright. Let's make the trek once again. I think we made it. I see a hut. I believe this is Skaal Village. Oh, yes. Okay. We made it. Oh, man, the weather is just so harsh up here.
Oh, sorry. His mama swapped him for a dog. And then drowned the dog.
What? Excuse me? You are not of the Skaal. Speak with Thurston Heartfang in the Great Hall. He is our leader and will deal with you. Okay. Where's the Great Hall? Is it this? No, that's the smith. Let's see. Great Hall there? Maybe? I wouldn't really know. Oh yeah, okay. Ooh, look at these guys. Howdy.
What do you want, stranger? Why are you among the Skaal?
What's with your guys' eyebrows? What do you want, stranger? The Skaal wish you no harm, but you will mind your manners while you're here within our walls. We will make no exceptions. Now, what is this I hear about an attack on the Imperial Fort? Well, werewolves? Those soldiers, bah. They cut their trees and dig their holes and have little to show after a day's toil. They do not respect this land or its creatures, and for that I find them offensive. But, though I have no love for them, the Skaal would never do such a thing. We prefer to let the Imperials kill themselves slowly. But these creatures that attacked, these were not wolves of this island. Now, have you finished your business here? No. You haven't really given me much information. You say you have brought the bones of one of our ancestors. Stupid Imperials. They need to learn to leave things as they are. Still, it is good that you've returned this to the Skaal. Perhaps there is hope for you and your kind. You are welcome here for the moment, but there is much to atone for. What do you mean? The Imperials and their fort have brought nothing but harm to these lands. They cut the trees and dig the earth. They are wasteful, lazy, and careless. They have no comprehension of the oneness of the land. It is this oneness from which the Skaal derive a strength, and the Imperials have defiled these lands. Oh yeah, sounds like the same old tribalism. I've seen it before, man. The Ashlanders have no love for the Imperials either. I understand. I get it. Oneness, this is what gives the Skaal power. It is the balance of our lands, the trees and the waters, wolf and bear. The Imperials have no respect for this balance, and we pay the price. Right, because they defiled the lands. Through their carelessness, the Imperials have upset the natural order, the oneness of the land. This is their nature. It must be balanced once again, and the All-Maker appeased. I wish for you to make things right, Wick. You will be the one to restore the power of the Skaal. Me, I'm an Outlander. What do you mean, restore the power of the Skaal? It is right that you do this. It is your people who have caused the damage. My people? I'm a Dunmer. I don't know what you're talking about. Speak with Korst Windeye in the shaman's hut. He will give you further instructions. Okay. So you don't know about the captain? What the hell? If it wasn't you guys, then what? No quarrel with the Thirsk. Okay. We are the Skaal. Of course you are. He has not heard of Raven Rock. Latest rumors? Grawl? I've heard them called that. We do not know what they really are. Perhaps an evil spirit, perhaps a great beast. Whatever they are dangerous. Their claws and tusks rend armor and tear flesh. They will attack alone or in packs. Take care when they are near. What the hell are they? What about the berserkers? Bear snarks. Bear sarks, bare-chested, no clothing, something not welcome. What? Okay. Heartfang knows nothing about the attack, but he's clearly angry with the Imperial's presence. He believes they're responsible for the dwindling power of the Skaal's powerful nature magic. What? This is quite odd. Yes. What's up here? Nothing. The place looks pretty neat, though. On our guard. You're on your honor. Right? Is this Shaman Hut? No. Shaman Hut? Nope. Shaman Hut? Nope. Is it called Shaman Hut? I don't know what I'm looking for. He's a Korst Windeye. Let's have a look around. Oh, here we go. Found it. West of the Great Hall. Korst Windeye? Greetings, Wanderer. Why have you come to our village? I'm here because of the attack on the Imperial Fort. I can tell you no more about this. If there is information, Heartfang will have it. Sorry, I can do no more. What? Well, he said something about restoring the power of the Skaal. What the heck? You know what he means by that? Heartfang wishes for you to do this, does he? Well, then I will assist you. There is a ritual that must be completed. On Solstheim, you will find 6 standing stones, each representing one of the 6 gifts of the Allmaker. At each of these stones, a ritual must be completed. Once the ritual of the gifts is completed, the oneness will be restored. The oneness? Careful balance that lies in all things of this world, the animals, the trees, even the rocks and the wind. It is a harmony that the Skaal draw power from, by the grace of the Allmaker. He who gave us these gifts. When this balance is upset, our power is lessened. Well, you seem to have an unfair god, but whatever. I don't know what else. Ritual of the gifts. It would be too much for any, not of the Skaal to remember. Here, take this. It will explain the rituals and guide you on your way. This book may be of some use to you as well. If you are to remain with the Skaal, you should understand our beliefs. Okay, I got a book. Or scroll. Locations of the stones, and the story of Avar Stonesinger. What? I don't want to get caught up on all of this. Oh, great.
You were told to perform the rituals needed to restore the power of the Skaal.
Yeah.
What have you done?
I don't know. I'm trying to find a way to care about any of this. Sir. I have no reason to care, really. Stupid barbarian Nords. Ancient culture. But I guess they're not so different from the Ashlanders. Well, let's have a look. Windstone, Beaststone, Waterstone, Treestone, Earthstone, Sunstone. Earthstone looks like it's over by where Raven Rock is going to be. Let's check out this other scroll. Oh, it's mighty long. Oh boy. Well, are you ready for story time? I guess it's story time. Alright. Sit quietly, child, and listen, for the story I tell you is a story of the ages. But what is it, grandfather? Is it a story of heroes and beasts? The grandfather looked patiently at the child. He was growing into a fine boy. Soon he would see the value in the stories, the lessons that were taught to each generation. Just listen, child. Let the story take root in your heart. In a time before now, long before now, when the Skaal were new, there was peace in the land. The sun was hot and the crops grew long, and the people were happy in the peace that the Allmaker provided. But the Skaal grew complacent and lazy, and they took for granted the lands and all the gifts the Allmaker had given them. They forgot, or choose not, to remember that the adversary is always watching, and that he delights in tormenting the Allmaker and his chosen people. And so, it was that the adversary came to be among the Skaal. The adversary has many aspects. He appears in the unholy beasts, the end, the incurable plague. At the end of seasons, we will know him as Tharstag, the world devourer. But in these greedy ages, he became known as the Greedy Man. The Greedy Man, that is what we call him, or to speak his name would certainly bring ruin on the people, lived among the Skaal for many months. Perhaps he was once just a man, but when the adversary entered into him, he became the Greedy Man, and that is how he is remembered. It came to be one day that the powers of the Skaal left them, the strength left the arms of the warriors, and the shaman could no longer summon the beasts to their side. The elders thought that surely the Allmaker was displeased, and some suggested that the Allmaker had left them forever. It was then that the Greedy Man appeared to them and spoke. You of the Skaal have grown fat and lazy. I have stolen the gifts of your Allmaker. I have stolen the oceans, so you will forever know thirst. I have stolen the lands and the trees and the sun, so your crops will wither and die. I have stolen the beasts, so you will go hungry. And I have stolen the winds, so you will live without the spirit of the Allmaker. And until one of you can reclaim these gifts, the Skaal will live in misery and despair, for I am the Greedy Man, and that is my nature. And the Greedy Man disappeared. The members of the Skaal spoke for many days and nights. They knew that one of them must retrieve the gifts of the Allmaker, but they could not decide who it should be. I cannot go, said the elder, for I must stay to lead the Skaal and tell our people what is law. Typo. I cannot go, said the warrior, for I must protect the Skaal. My sword will be needed in case the Greedy Man reappears. I cannot go, said the shaman, for the people need my wisdom. I must read the portents and offer my knowledge. It was then that a young man called Avar lifted his voice. He was strong of arm and fleet of foot, though he was not yet a warrior of the Skaal. I will go, said Avar, and the Skaal laughed. Hear me out, the boy continued. I am not yet a warrior, so my sword will not be needed. I cannot read the portents, so the people will not seek my counsel, and I am young and not yet wise in the ways of the law. I will retrieve the gifts of the Allmaker from the Greedy Man. If I cannot, I will not be missed. The Skaal thought on this briefly, and decided to let Avar go. He left the village the next morning to retrieve the gifts. Avar first set out to retrieve the gift of water, so he traveled to the Waterstone. It was there the Allmaker first spoke to him. Travel west to the sea and follow the swimmer to the waters of life. So Avar walked to the edge of the ocean, and there was the swimmer, a black horker sent from the Allmaker. The swimmer dove into the waters and swam very far, and far again. Avar was strong, though, and he had swam hard. He followed the swimmer to a cave, swimming deeper and deeper, his lungs burning and his limbs exhausted. At last he found a pocket of air, and there, in the dark, he found the waters of life. Gathering his strength, he took the waters and swam back to the shore. Upon returning to the Waterstone, the Allmaker spoke. You have returned the gift of water to the Skaal. The oceans again will bear fruit, and their thirst will be quenched. Avar then traveled to the Earthstone, and there the Allmaker spoke to him again. Enter the cave of the hidden music, and hear the song of the earth. So Avar traveled north and east to the cave of hidden music, found himself in a large cavern where the rocks hung from the ceiling and grew from the ground itself. He listened there and heard the song of the earth, but it was faint. Grabbing up his mace, he struck the rocks of the floor in time with the song, and the song grew louder until it filled the cavern and his heart. Then he returned to the Earthstone. The gift of the earth is with the Skaal again, and the Allmaker, said the Allmaker. The lands are rich again, and will bear life. Eivor was tired. As the sun burned him, the trees offered no shade, and there was no wind to cool him. Still he traveled to the Beast Rock, and the Allmaker spoke. Find the good beast and ease his suffering. Eivor traveled through the woods of the Isinfir for many hours until he heard the cries of a bear from over a hill. As he crested a hill, he saw the bear, a Falmer's arrow piercing its neck. He checked the woods for the Falmer, for that is what they were, though some say they are not, and finding none, approached the beast. He spoke soothing words and came upon it slowly, saying, Good beast, I mean you no harm. The Allmaker has sent me to ease your suffering. Hearing these words, the bear ceased his struggles and laid his head at Eivor's feet. Eivor grasped the arrow and pulled it from the bear's neck. Using the little nature magic he knew, Eivor tended the wound, though it took the last bit of strength. As the bear's wound closed, Eivor slept. When he awoke, the bear stood over him, and the remains of a number of the Falmer were strewn about. He knew that the good beast had protected him during the night. He traveled back to Beast Rock, the bear by his side, and the Allmaker spoke to him again. You have returned to the beast. You have returned to the gift of the beasts. Once again, the good beasts will feed the Skaal when they are hungry, clothe them when they are cold, and protect them in times of need. Eivor's strength had returned, so he traveled on to the tree stone. Though the good beast did not follow him, when he arrived, the Allfather spoke to him. The first trees are gone and must be replanted. Find the seed and plant the first tree. Eivor traveled again through the Herstang forest, searching for the seeds of the first tree, but he could find none. He spoke to the tree spirits and living trees. They told him that the seeds had been stolen by one of the Falmer, for they are the servants of the adversary, and this Falmer was hiding them deep in the forest, so that none would ever find them. Eivor traveled to the deepest part of the forest, and there he found the evil Falmer, surrounded by the lesser tree spirits. Eivor could see that the spirits were in his thrall, that he had used the magic of the seeds and spoken their secret name. Eivor knew he could not stand against such a force, and that he must retrieve the seeds in secret. Eivor reached into his pouch and drew out his flint. Gathering leaves, he started a small fire outside the clearing where the Falmer and the ensorcelled spirits milled. All the Skaal know the spirits' hatred of the fires, for the fires ravaged the trees they serve. At once, the nature of the spirits took hold, and they rushed to quell the flames. During the commotion, Eivor snuck behind the Falmer and snatched the pouch of seeds, stealing away before the evil being knew they were gone. When Eivor returned to the tree stone, he planted the tree in the ground, and the Allmaker spoke to him. The gift of trees is restored. Once again, the trees and plants will bloom and grow and provide nourishment and shade. Eivor was tired, for the sun would only burn and the winds would not yet cool him, but he rested briefly in the shade of the trees. His legs were weary and his eyes heavy, but he continued on, traveling to the sunstone. Again the Allmaker spoke. The gentle warmth of the sun is stolen, so now it only burns. Free the sun from the halls of Penumbra. And so Eivor walked west, over the frozen lands until he reached the halls of Penumbra. The air inside was thick and heavy, and he could see no farther than the end of his arm. Still, he felt his way along the walls, though he heard the shuffling of feet and knew that this place held the unholy beasts, who would tear his flesh and eat his bones. For hours he crept along until he saw a faint glow, far at the end of the hall. There, from behind a sheet of perfect ice, came a glow so bright he had to shut his eyes, lest they be forever blinded. He plucked the flaming eye from one of the unholy beasts and threw it at the ice with all his might. A small crack appeared in the ice, then grew larger. Slowly, the light crept out between the cracks, widening them, splitting the ice wall into pieces. With a deafening crack, the wall crumbled, and the light rushed over Eivor and through the halls. He heard the shrieks of the unholy beasts as they were blinded and burned. He ran out of the halls following the light and collapsed on the ground outside. When he was able to rise again, the sun again warmed him, and he was glad for that. He traveled back to the Sunstone, where the Allmaker spoke to him. The gift of the sun is the skulls once again. It will warm them and give them light. Avar had one final gift he had to recover, the gift of the winds, so he traveled to the Windstone. Far on the western coast of the island, when he arrived, the Allmaker spoke to him, giving him his final task. Find the greedy man, and release the wind from its captivity. So Avar wandered the land in search of the greedy man. He looked into the trees, but the greedy man did not hide there, nor did he hide near the oceans, nor the deep caves, and the beasts had not seen him in the dark forests. Finally, Avar came to a crooked house, and he knew that here he would find the greedy man. "Who are you?" shouted the greedy man, "that you would come to my house?" "I am Avar of the Skaal," said Avar. "I am not warrior, shaman, nor elder. If I do not return, I will not be missed. But I have returned the oceans and the earth, the trees and the beasts and the sun, and I will return the winds to my people, that we may feel the spirit of the Allmaker in our souls again." And with that, he grabbed up the greedy man's bag and tore it open. The winds rushed out with gale force, sweeping the greedy man up and carrying him off, far from the island. Avar breathed in the winds and was glad. He walked back to the Windstone, where the Allmaker spoke to him a final time. "You have done well, Avar. You, the least of the Skaal, have returned my gifts to them. The greedy man is gone for now. It should not trouble your people again in your lifetime. Your Allmaker is pleased. Go now and live according to your nature." And Avar started back to Skaal Village. "And then what happened, grandfather?" "What do you mean, child? He went home." "No, when he returned to the village," the child continued. "Was he made a warrior? Or taught the ways of the shaman? Did he lead the Skaal into battle?" "I do not know. That is where the story ends," said the grandfather. "But that is not an ending. That is not how stories end." The old man laughed and got up from his chair. "Is it not? Well, quite a lengthy story, if I do say so. Sheesh. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. The Imperial Fort was attacked by beasts. I'd like to find out the source of these beasts. The Skaal say it was not them. But perhaps more investigation is needed. As for the story, it seems no more than a tribal myth, but whatever. Perhaps if I perform some of these tasks in good faith, I'll get on better terms with the leader, and the Skaal will recognize me and, well, reveal to me more information, since they seem to be stonewalling me about the whereabouts of this captain. I could roam the wilderness for clues, but I don't know how far that would get me. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and I suppose next time we will try to uncover some information, something. I don't know, I'll have to review what I know so far and think about our next step. Alright, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.